So the Galaxy S26 Ultra is getting a new design. Depending on where you stand, that's either exciting news or maybe not. Personally, I'm hoping this isn't what it sounds like, and honestly, I'd love to be wrong here. Let me explain. What's up guys, Sal here. So back in the day, the Galaxy S phones all shared a consistent design language. From the S1 through the S21 Ultra, the corners were rounded, and that was the look you expected from an S phone. But then Samsung changed things with the S22 Ultra. They merged the Note and S series into one device, which is why we got that boxier Note-inspired design. And they stuck with it for 3 years. Fast forward to the S25 Ultra and Samsung softened things a little, bringing back slightly rounder edges. Now it looks like they want to keep pushing in that direction. According to Universe, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is gonna get even rounder. How round? Nobody really knows yet, but I really hope it doesn't cross over into iPhone territory. If I had to guess, it will probably end up looking closer to the S25 Edge. Now look, design is always subjective. Some people love rounder devices, so they're happy with this change. Others are not. Personally, I lean towards boxier designs because they just feel more premium to me. But the S25 Ultra already softened its corners, so if Samsung wants to push it further, fine. But there's one issue that could make this a real problem. You see, the reason Galaxy Notes always had a boxier design was simple. They needed room for the S Pen. The pen sits in the corner of the phone, and when the phone is boxy, it tucks away cleanly. With rounder corners, the pen doesn't sit flush. On the S25 Ultra, you can already see it's taken out just a bit because of the curve. Now imagine making that curve even more dramatic on the S26 Ultra. The S Pen will end up poking out further, which doesn't look great and doesn't feel great either. The only way around it would be to move the slot inward, but that wastes valuable space inside the phone. So what could Samsung do? Well, a couple of things. The smart option would be to redesign the S Pen slightly so that the tip matches the curvature of the phone. They've done something similar before with the Note 2's S Pen, so it's not unheard of. That would solve the problem without making sacrifices. The other option, and I really hope they don't go this route, is to ditch the S Pen slot completely. That would be a disaster. The backlash alone would be brutal. Remember how people reacted when Samsung removed Bluetooth features? Now imagine the outrage if the S Pen slot itself was gone. Yeah, not worth it. The good news is that there's zero evidence right now that Samsung is planning to remove it, so for now we don't need to panic. From the back, Universe expects the S26 Ultra to look something like this. Again, nothing is confirmed yet, but we'll know soon enough. The CAD renders usually show up around September, and last year the S25 Ultra's renders dropped on September 10th. So if history repeats itself, we'll get our first detailed look at the S26 Ultra in just a couple of weeks. Now what we know is that the S26 Ultra is gonna be thinner. Couple that with more rounded corners and a possible new camera module design, and we're looking at least a notable change in a world where most phones look identical year after year. Honestly, I'll take it. Moving on, I'm certain the biggest AI feature on the S26 Ultra will still be Google's Gemini. Samsung is leaning heavily on it, and for good reason. It's actually useful, and Google keeps improving it. So what's new this time? Well, Gemini Live is getting a major improvement. Right now, when you use the Gemini Live, it kinda takes over your whole screen, which isn't the smoothest experience. But a recent teardown shows they're testing a floating interface, basically a compact overlay. That means you can keep your apps open, and Gemini will pop up cards with relevant info on top. It's far less disruptive and way better for multitasking. Even better, Google plans to roll this out before the S26 Ultra arrives, so in the next few weeks you could already see it. And they're making it sound more like human too. Gemini will adjust its tone depending on what you're talking about, like a calmer voice for stressful topics. You'll also be able to control how fast or slow it talks. And if you're in the mood for some fun, you can have Gemini tell stories in different accents or in the voice of a historical figure. Now before I wrap this up, let me leave you with one more interesting hardware change the S26 Ultra might bring. It's not something you've been asking for, but it's something you'll surely want. Click right here and I'll see you there.